This is Hana Harmony. Let's go to morning time. Morning time Bible here. Yes. Let's go to Abraham. God picked Abraham to be the father of a very important family. In the future, Jesus would come from this family. God told Abraham, I will make you famous. Your children and grandchildren will be as many as the stars. They will be as many as the grains on the beach. You won't be able to count them. Wow! Wow, wow! That's wonderful promise. How do you think Abram felt? Yes, promised land. God told Abram to move to a new place. Abram had no map. God said, I will show you where to go. Abram started out walking. He took his wife, nephew, and servants with him. When Abram and his family got to a land called Canaan, God said, this is your new home. I'm giving it to you and to everyone who will ever be in your family. If your parents said, we are going on a trip, but we can't tell you where, would you trust them to take you to a good place? Let's go. Abram's visitors. When Abram was 99 years old, God changed his name to Abram. His new name showed that he belonged to God. Not long after that, 3 men came by Abram's tent, and he invited them to lunch. Quick bake some bread, Abram told his wife. Then Abram hurried to get some meat cooked. When the food was ready, Abram brought it to his visitors. The men sat down to eat. Abram didn't know it, but his visitors were from heaven. Yeah? Sarah, when one of the visitors finished eating, he said, where is your wife, Sarah? She's over there in the tent. Abram said, next year, Sarah will have a baby. Wow, the visitors said. Sarah heard and laughed. She couldn't believe it. I'm too old to have a baby, she thought. Abram is too old too. Wow. What if your great-grandmother had a baby? Sarah was that old. Let's see how God keeps his promises. In about a year, Sarah had a baby boy, just like God had promised. Abram named the baby Isaac. Isaac means laughter. Sarah was so happy with her baby boy. She said, God has made me laugh. Everyone who hears about this will laugh with me. God can do anything, but sometimes it takes a while to see the answer. What would you like to ask him to do for you? Yes. Many years a wife for Isaac. Many years later, Isaac was all grown up. Go back to the land I came from and find a wife for my son, Abram said to his servant. The servant loaded up camels with all kinds of wonderful presents. sorry. After he got to the land far away, he wasn't sure how to find a wife for Isaac. At the place where girls came to get water, he prayed, "Let the right girl give me water." Yeah, how many jugs of water do you think those camels could drink? Yeah, those camels. How many jugs? Yeah. Before the servant had finished praying, a beautiful young woman came to get water. The servant asked her, "Will you give me some water, please?" "Yes," she said, "I will get water for your camels too." Wow, it was a big job. Thirsty camels can drink a lot of water. Back and forth she went, pouring water for them all. Yeah, do you think the man noticed how kind the woman was? Yes, noticed. Rebecca, the servant, knew this woman was the one to be Isaac's wife. Her name was Rebecca. The servant took gifts to her family and asked if Rebecca could marry Isaac. Her father said she could, and Rebecca wanted to get married too, so she went home with the servant to meet Isaac. So the servant needed God to help him find the right girl. Yeah, what do you do when you need God's help? Yeah, Isaac and Rebecca. The camels swayed and bumped along the road all the way to Canaan, where Isaac lived. One evening, just before the sun went down, the camels stopped. A young man was walking in the field. He looked up and saw the camels his bride had come. Isaac loved Rebecca. He married her. Do you think Rebecca was excited about being chosen to be Isaac's wife? How do you think she felt about going so far away? Yeah. The twins. For many years, Rebecca couldn't have babies, so Isaac prayed. Isaac prayed to God about the problem. God heard Isaac and he sent 2 babies, twins. When the twins were born, one was all red and fuzzy. Isaac and Rebecca named him Esau. Yeah. The other twin had smooth skin. They named him Jacob. Someday, when they were grown up, these boys would be the leaders of 2 great families. God has the answers to all our prayers. What would you like to pray about? What would you like to pray about? Let's pray. Sneaky Jacob. The boys grow up, and one day Esau came in from hunting. Jacob was cooking. "I am hungry. Give me some of that soup," said Esau. Jacob was a sneaky guy. He said, "Give me your rice as the firstborn son, and I will." Esau agreed. "Okay, if I starve, my rice won't help me." Esau made a bad decision. Pray and ask God to help you make good decisions. Foolish Esau. Jacob gave Esau a big bowl of soup, and he ate it. Esau didn't even know he had been tricked. Later on, Esau found out what that bowl of soup cost him. Isaac, their father, gave everything he had to Jacob when it should have been Esau's. Esau had been foolish. Hello? Esau thought he had to have something right now. Why is it foolish not to think about consequences? Yeah, a letter to heaven. When Esau found out how Jacob had tricked him, he was mad. Jacob was afraid and ran away from him. That night in the desert, Jacob had to sleep outside with a rock under his head for a pillow. He dreamed about a letter to heaven filled with angels. God spoke to Jacob in the dream and promised to bless him. Hello. What do you think it would be like to have a rock for a pillow? Yeah, it's so hard. And Rachel, Jacob continued to his journey, traveling a long way to his uncle Laban's house. There he met Laban's beautiful daughter Rachel. Jacob fell in love with her. He told Laban, I will stay here and work for you if you will let me marry Rachel. So Jacob stayed and worked 7 years for the woman he loved. Is there anything you'd be willing to wait 7 years for? Yeah, you try it. Just go. Tricked. After 7 years of hard work, it was finally time for Jacob's wedding. Everyone got dressed. The bride wore a heavy veil over her face. It was so heavy that Jacob couldn't see through it. Guess what? Laban tricked Jacob. Rachel was not under the veil. It was her sister Leah instead. How do you think Jacob felt when he found out he had been tricked? Yes, let's go. Home again. Jacob was mad at Laban. What have you done? Jacob asked. Laban said, work some more, and I will give you Rachel too. Jacob married Rachel and worked 7 more years. Then Jacob decided to leave Rachel's sneaky father. He took his family and everything he had and started back home. Jacob was going home, but that's where his angry brother Esau lived. What do you think happened when they met? Yes, let's go. Jacob wrestles with God. When Jacob was almost home, a servant said, your brother Esau is coming. Jacob thought Esau was coming to hurt him. Jacob was afraid and prayed, God, save me from my brother. That night, a man who was really God appeared. Jacob wrestled with the man. Bless me, Jacob said. God blessed Jacob and changed his name to Israel. Jacob means sneaky. Israel means one who wrestles with God. Which kind of person would you rather be? Yeah, just expect. Jacob and Esau meet. The next morning Esau came. Jacob bowed in fear in front of him. Surprised, Esau was happy to see Jacob. Esau ran to Jacob and gave him hugs and kisses. Who are all these people? Esau asked. They are mine. Jacob answered, God has been good to me. The brothers became friends again. Do you have brothers and sisters? Do you treat them kindly? Yes, let's go. The other Joseph's dream. So bye. See you.